What is up, you guys? Today we're going to check out this video with Brett Cooper. Men around the world are fed up with something. I'm not sure what it is, so let's check it out and we'll find out.
Back to the comment section. I'm Brett Cooper. So across the world, guys, journalists and academics alike are trying to understand the growing divide between men and women. We all know that this divide exists. We talk about it all the time. I'm sure you guys feel it in your day-to-day life. And so obviously they have now realized that this divide exists, that both men and women are stepping out of the dating pools, that there is social and political tension, our population is declining.
That makes sense. I mean, look, we're different. You know what I mean? So we're going to have different opinions, and everything is so polar opposites and polarized these days that it's not so really surprising that like men have one really hardcore opinion about something and women have a very other hardcore opinion about the same thing on the completely opposite end.
It is a big problem. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think they have finally realized that feminism is to blame. Before we dive into this though, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you've not already, and
subscribe to this channel, okay? Subscribe, all right?
Then ring that notification bell so that you never miss a comment section episode. So people really started contemplating this question and this issue after reports came out citing the political divide between men and women, and they are glaring. Like these graphs are we are more divided than ever. This one says pulling apart, self-identified position of 18 to 29-year-olds on political spectrum. 0 is very liberal, 10 is very conservative.
Yeah. Let's check that out. Yep, makes sense.
Men are on the up and up. You guys are getting more conservative, and us women, ooh, that decline is stark.
I've fallen, and I can't get up.
Women do tend to be way more liberal than guys. Way more liberal.
But I believe this is true even from what I'm just observing doing this show and pulling TikToks for you guys to watch and talking about pop culture stories. I mean, take the frat boys from last week, pushing back against absurdity on college campuses and actually standing up for our country and the things that we stand for. Like, where are the chicks?
America. Now, I just started on TikTok a little bit ago as well. Pretty recently, and honestly, it hurts me a little bit. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it pains me to post on there because I don't like it that much. But,
are they the ones in the Antifa outfits? I don't know, but they are certainly not doing what the frat boys are doing. They're probably too busy crying about the fact that they have no rights, I'd assume. But anyway, moving on.
I like the no rights thing. Makes sense. Accurate.
No shocker here, but America does have the biggest gap between the genders. However, we aren't totally alone here, which was a positive thing for me to see in kind of a twisted way. But this other graph, the space between us, shows the divide in other countries. And obviously, the United States has the widest one, but this is an issue that countries across the world are facing. And as journalists have been trying to understand the situation, they've actually been covering it in other countries first. And it's kind of validating to see that we are all sharing the same problems and grievances. We are all fighting this mind virus together. And if you're fighting your own virus, you might need Jace Medical. Now, the world might seem physically big, but
if there's one thing that she is good at, it is transitioning into the ad, the promotion thing. All right, we're going to skip this. Sorry, Brett Cooper. Not sorry, but we're going to go ahead and skip through here. What do we got? Where are we at? Bam. Yep. All right, let's get back into it. Good transition as always.
And enter promo code Cooper. I cannot guarantee that they will help fix the virus that is impacting men and women around the world, but they can at least get you physically right and ready to fight that fight. Now, just last month, The Economist wrote an interesting piece about this, why young men and young women are drifting apart, but they focused mostly on Poland. And they wrote that it is typical for young Polish women to support the liberal left, which takes women's issues seriously and promises to legalize abortion. Sounds familiar. Young Polish men, they complain, hew more to the right or even the far right. Consider last year's election. Then, the top choice for 18 to 29-year-old men was Confederation, a party that touts free market economics and traditional social values. Against feminists, in defense of real women is one of its slogans. Some 26% of young men backed it, and only 6% of their female peers did. Sounds like a fantastic political party that I would definitely be in favor of. And then The Economist wrote, young Polish men have their own set of complaints. Feminism has gone too far, say two firemen in their 20s in a small town. Now, guys, you know me. I'm going to butcher these names. But Lukas says that he used to be able to go to a village dance party and the women there were wife material. Nowadays, they're all posting shameless pictures of themselves.
This is so accurate. So accurate. Used to have some wife material. Now, from what I hear, nobody got no wife material. And what I see online too, geez, holy Brick, you girls, what are you doing?
On social media, he laments. The media are all biased and pushing the culture to the left, complains Mateus. Neither would give a surname. They also say that people no longer admit that men and women often want to do different kinds of work. Okay, well, doesn't that sound familiar, ladies and gentlemen of the United States? Buddy, in America, people won't even admit that men and women are different. They don't even know.
Oh, don't even get me started on that. Like, dude, okay. Thank you for bringing that up, Brett. We are so different. It's insane. Okay, and the fact that people want to be like, oh, we're all the same. We're not only are we equal, but we're exactly the same, and there's no differences. And you can be if you're a guy, you can be a girl whenever you want, and if you're a girl, you can be a guy whenever. Get the. Shut up. It's not true. Not real. Get the frick out of here.
What a woman is.
What is that?
So again, we are in the trenches together. But guys, it is also not just isolated to the West. And often when we talk about gender identity and gender politics and all of these progressive things that the media and culture pushes, we talk about Western civilization, the decline of the West. It is happening everywhere. Now, a day before that article by The Economist was published, The Atlantic did a piece on the same phenomenon, but they focused on South Korea. The headline read, "The global gender divide we really should be talking about." And before diving into specifics, they wrote, "A shared trend is a turning away from feminism among young men, even as women turn more strongly towards it."
Yeah, because it's annoying. And it doesn't help people. Like, it did for a while, and then they went completely over the line to where it doesn't help anybody anymore, and it's freaking annoying as crap.
A 2023 survey by Equimundo found that just 47% of men in the US, ages 18 to 23, agreed with the statement that feminism has made America a better place, compared with 56% of men aged 38 to 45. This is a shocking development.
So
It is definitely a
So shocking.
development, but it is not shocking if you've actually been paying attention to what men and women are saying and doing. Because at first, when women were genuinely lacking equal rights in this country and countries around the world, more men were in favor of feminism and were fighting for that equal playing field. But then women were given those rights, and now we've had those rights for a long time, but oh no, that wasn't enough. And that was decades
Never enough, dude. It's never enough. People always want more.
ago at this point. And now women haven't shut up about it or any of the new problems that they're creating in their heads. So obviously men are going to be fed up. And it is having a dramatic effect
Yeah. Yep. Completely correct.
on politics around the world, even in South Korea. In this article, they said that there are
Yo, even in South Korea, bro.
three things you need to know about South Korea. And they said, first, the nation's fertility rate has plummeted to below 1 child per woman, which means a nation of around 50 million people today will shrink by half in just a generation. That is what Elon Musk is warning us about. That is
Dude, the fact that the mainstream is trying to say that there is overpopulation of the planet too is absolutely ridiculous. Like, you can see how many people are not having kids. It's insane. Have kids. Okay, be responsible, but be married, get married, have kids, take care of them. Okay, be a good parent. That's part of my main message is being a good parent, right?
a serious, serious issue. Secondly, they wrote the current president, Yoon Suk-yeol, won the election in 2022 on an explicitly anti-feminist agenda with a promise to abolish the Ministry for Gender Equality. Third, there is a massive political divide in the country between young men and young women. So obviously, men are starting to vote differently, and it is impacting how South Koreans are dating, marrying, procreating, or not procreating at all.
I need a baby!
Just like what we are facing in the United States. And obviously, this is not a good thing, especially just in terms of the population decline, because we need our population to keep increasing so that we can sustain life and society as we know it and continue to innovate. And I wish that this wasn't widespread, but it is kind of nice because I often think that America is singular in our cultural insanity and tension, but really, we're all in this together. Across the world, this is an issue that we need to discuss.
Dude, the propaganda is insane for this kind of stuff. Like, the family is completely attacked, and it's been being attacked for a very long time now at this point, and yeah, like it's ludicrous. It's ridiculous the way that the family has been attacked and broken apart, and single parenthood and divorce rates and all that, dude.
For men and women, there used to be an undisputed care, admiration, and need for one another. And now, to put it mildly, men and women kind of hate each other, and they genuinely believe that the other sex is out to get them. And physically and financially, we don't technically need each other. I mean, thanks to sperm donors and surrogacy and women in the...
See, that crap bugs me too, because it's like, you know what? I don't even know if I'm going to get into it. I don't think I'm going to get into it in this one. Okay.
Workforce making way more money than ever and becoming more educated than men on a whole, like however you want to identify that, men and women think that they don't need each other because of these substitutions.
Because of scientific advancement, but the fact that you think like that you don't need someone else as far as all of the other support, financial, emotional, right, is a big one. Just because like, oh, because I can, just because you can do things and you're able to do things does not mean that you should, or that it's a good idea, or that it's healthy. We know this, okay?
But we do need each other for reasons much deeper than all of that. And until the world starts to recognize that again and respect that, and we start to heal, I think that things will struggle to change. Well, guys, I hope you
right there at the end, dude. I mean, good video, right? But yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised that there's a big, massive like divide here between men and women. And again, like she said in the beginning about like people leaving the dating pool and how there's nobody that's like wife material. And I would argue that it's the same on the other end. Like I think it's more widely talked about that there's no wife material out there, but the husband material probably, I would guess, is probably a lot more scarce than it used to be as well. Dudes that actually want to have a family, want to have kids, want to be committed. Like I would be willing to bet that those are in decline from what they used to be as well. And it's much more difficult because of how things are and how everything is these days. All right, you guys, if you are trying to get better though, better yourself, become a better father, husband, man, for not just yourself, but for your family, and you want to work on all that stuff, go ahead and click the link down below. Check out my program, my coaching, my course, and I will catch you guys on the next video.